It's the last time someone asked you how you were doing? Not the very thin surface level version, not the how are you that expects a I'm fine answer, the real version. When someone actually sat with you and let you speak, didn't interrupt, didn't interject, and actually wanted to know what you were carrying. How long has it been since someone showed up for you the way you, yes you, show up for everyone else? If you had that, think about if you haven't had that, think about it both ways. How about that for more than a few seconds? Because if it resonates, this one is for you. Because today, I could just have a little conversation about the term overgiving and what it actually is costing the women who can never seem to stop. Hello, my name is LaKenya Tan, empowerment Clique, empowerment coach, social worker, for 20 years of helping women and families just get through and navigate through the day. And I want to today kind of just describe to that someone or to you. And I want to kind of know that I want you to tell me if you recognize her. She's the first one to call when something goes wrong. She remembers everyone's birthday, everyone's appointment, everyone's struggle. She shows up every time without being asked. She gives her time, her energy, resources, emotional bandwidth freely and consistently to the people in her life. And she does it because it genuinely feels good to be needed, because taking care of people is something she is good at, because love for her has always like doing. But here's the part that is never like brought to light as much. She's exhausted. Not the kind of exhausted that's a good night's sleep feels exhausted. The deep kind. The kind that lives in your bones that you really can't even name. The one that when you wake up already tired because you know what the day is going to be like before it even begins. Does this sound familiar? Because that woman, generous, capable, endless giving woman, is living with what I call the overgiving syndrome. And it's one of the most common and least talked about patterns that I have seen in women across the 20 years of this world that I have been doing. So let me tell you what overgiving actually is, because it's not the same as generosity. Generosity comes from a full place. It says, I have something I want to share with you. That's generosity. Overgiving comes from a different place totally entirely. Overgiving says, I need to give in order to feel worthy. I need to give in order to feel loved. I need to give in order to justify my place in the relationship, this family, and this space. Overgiving is giving with invisible strings attached, not strings you put on other people, but strings you put on yourself. Strings that says, if I stop overgiving, it will stop mattering. That is where it gets kind of painful. Because when giving is tied to your worthiness, when you give not from fullness, but from fear, you can never give enough. There is no amount of showing up that makes you feel secure. There's no number of times you can be the one that comes through that makes you feel like you are fine enough. Because and I want you to really sit with this. If you stop doing everything you do for people in your life, if you pulled back the giving, the showing up, the managing, the fixing, do you believe they will still love you? Do you believe they will still be there? If that question makes your stomach drop, that is information. That is your nervous system telling you that something about the way you started believing that value is conditional. That you have to earn your place. The love is something you perform for rather than something you simply receive. And here's what breaks my heart about that. The women who gives the most are often the ones who receive the very least. Not because the people around them are all bad people, but because overgiving creates an imbalance that becomes the norm. People get comfortable receiving from you. It's not thinking to ask, what do you need, because you have never seemed to need anything. You have trained them unintentionally to take. And you have trained yourself to give without asking for anything back. So what does breaking this pattern looks like? It starts with something small and something uncomfortable. It starts with noticing, just noticing. The next time you're about to do something for someone, pause for just a second and ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't? You do not have to change anything yet. Just notice. Because awareness is always the first step. You cannot shift the pattern you have not named. And today, right here, you're naming it. The goal is not to stop giving. The goal is to give them a place of choice instead of fear. To give when it genuinely feels good, and to be honest with yourself first, of course. When it does not, does it? Ask yourself. To let yourself receive some time. To let someone show up for you without immediately deflecting or minimizing or saying, oh, no, I'm good, I'm fine, I don't need anything. You do need things. You are allowed to need things. It is not a weakness. That's being human. And the people who are meant to be in your life, the real ones, they want to give to you too. But you have to create that space. You have to stop filling every single moment with you giving so that there's room for someone else to step in. You have been the giver for a long time. It is okay to let someone else give to you now. Remember, knowing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. Check yourself so you can be yourself. This is a Kenya to you.